think you'd be forgiven if you'd forgotten West Ham actually playing football today. And it's not only, we're playing a big game. This is a big, big game today. After the start we've had to this season, it's vitally important we get a result. But you'd be forgiven for forgetting it because the amount of drama that's unfolding at the moment in terms of our transfer window. Very dramatic day yesterday and last night, trying to sort of keep pace with it and see what's going on. It's very hard. So rather than putting out a video last night where it was all very up in the air and it just felt like it was changing, and look, that could be the case again today. I'd like to think it won't be because of the match and things will calm down in terms of the news being broken. I'm really unimpressed by a certain how things have unfolded in terms of being reported. Do you know what I mean? It really hasn't helped West Ham at all. And obviously the conduct of some of the players as well. So I just want to talk about that as well. It's where we are. It's a mess. It feels like, the calamity that's been this transfer window and everything that's surrounding the club at the moment is seriously carrying on here. Huge distraction going into a big game. It's not ideal. So I want to talk through where we are at the moment, and this is obviously Sunday morning, so this could well change. I'm recording this just about 8 in the morning, so by the time this goes out, it could well be this has already been dated. I hope it's not, but this is just where we are at the moment, okay? Before I do get into it, though, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It's free, and who wouldn't want to follow this bloody calamity and this drama? This is pure entertainment. I don't think you need to be a West Ham fan to follow this. Just watch. Just get the popcorn out. My word. So really do appreciate if you subscribe and also hit that like button. We hit, I think it was about 930 likes on a video just recently, the day before yesterday. I think that's the highest we've ever done. So I can't be more grateful to everybody. So if you can help us get there again, get that 1,000, that'd be amazing. If this channel can get 1,000 likes on the video, I'd be really, really pleased. So if you can do that, I really appreciate it. So as I say, subscribe as well. And also hit the bell, the notifications, to let you know when the videos come out. Right, let's get into it, shall we? Yeah, let's get into it. Right, I know we want to talk about Paqueta, but I'm going to start with Nayef Aguerd. So it's been reported and it's been confirmed now by EXWHUEMPLOYEE that the player has not travelled to Nottingham today. He is trying to force a move through to Marseille. I said at the end of last season that Nayef Aguerd's loan last season to Real Sociedad was perfect for West Ham. This was a player that had proven before that he's uncommitted, doesn't want to be here. He doesn't suit the Premier League. He's not up. He ain't the answer. We've seen evidence that he is not the answer and not what we want in our football club. End of. And I'm counting ability and attitude into both those things, right? We got him out on loan. I don't think it could have gone any better, really. At one point during his loan spell, Real Madrid were rumoured to be looking at him. Or scouting him at the time. So that's kind of the level of performances he was delivering in La Liga. Look, he's a good player at certain leagues. He ain't good in the Premier League. We've seen it already this season. Far off the pace in what's required. Not aggressive enough. Not a leader. I know I'm going to be saying bias here, but I've got a problem with Aguerd. And the reason I've got that problem is because I know for a fact that he refused to play, come back from when it was leading up to the Africa Cup of Nations. There was a time I think he was coming back from injury, if I remember, and he didn't want to come back. And he made it clear that that was evident. He didn't want to come back and play because he wanted to stay fit for the Africa Cup of Nations. I just don't subscribe to that. I can't subscribe to a football player not wanting to play for their football club. Don't get me wrong, I get it mentally. I understand the mentality of it. Like if you're an England player and you've got a World Cup coming up and you've got a few games before it, you probably are thinking, the last thing I want to do is get injured now ahead of the World Cup because this is a big part of my career. So I'm not having a go at him for wanting to play for Morocco, right? And wanting to be fit. No problem with that at all. But ultimately, you're a West Ham player. You're contracted to West Ham and this should be a priority in your life. You should be thinking, I want to go and play for West Ham. I want West Ham to do well. That guy has not had it. And the second I knew about that, and I think like many, when that sort of that news came out, my feelings toward Aguerd changed. I just thought, do you know what? This guy is not committed. We see it enough on the pitch anyway from him. And I just thought that just summarises who he is, and we need to get rid of him. And then, of course, we've had the drama of this summer when he was rumoured to say he didn't want to come back to the football club. We reported on it. X has made it very clear that this was the case, that there was a real determination. He did not want to return. He wanted West Ham to sell him. He had no desire to come back to England, no desire to come back to play in the Premier League with West Ham. So now, at the time, I remember when then he did come back, people were going, "Oh, look, that was all rubbish. It was all proven as rubbish." Well, what we're seeing now is actually that was true, wasn't it? Because he is now once again refusing to play football for West Ham because he wants to force for a move to Marseille. I can't stand the guy. I honestly, I think he has proven to be such a bad seed in that dressing room, and probably I would say a factor as to why we have started this badly. And I know that might sound a bit dramatic, and that's probably not fair on him to say that's he's a key reason to why we are where we are. It might well be not the case, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if this is his attitude publicly. Then I'll dread to think what it's like behind the scenes. Really, to be honest with other players, there was obviously talks of putting people off joining and all that kind of stuff. I'm really not going to label Aguerd with that, though. I don't think that's fair because I don't know that, and I wouldn't want to start labeling things on him and saying he did this, he did that, because that's not right. I'm just going to sort of point out things we do know. Really, really disappointed in this, and do you know what? I'm more annoyed at West Ham. As much as I don't like Aguerd's conduct, I don't like the way West Ham have handled this. We bloody knew about this guy. It's not as if this is a surprise. If I knew about it, how the hell does Graham Potter and the ownership, everyone at the football club, Mark Noble and everyone, allow this to carry on? All right, Mark Noble might not be involved in that level, but you get my point. It should have been made really clear to Graham Potter, do not have this guy come back to this football club. Get rid of him. He needs to be sold. He can't come back to the fold because he doesn't want to be here. I say this flipping line pretty much every other video. If you don't want to be at West Ham, I don't want to know, right? I don't care how good you are, and that applies to every player in that team. If you don't want to be here and you're thinking, I want out, I'm looking at other clubs and I fancy a move, then I want them gone. I don't want any players walking in that dressing room not wanting to play for West Ham. And I think that's what you get with Aguerd. I think you see it in the performances. I think you see his lack of commitment. And the fact he's continually being picked, and the fact Potter wanted him back, I thought was a mistake. I said I thought it was a mistake, but I was willing to accept Aguerd back if he showed commitment. But we're seeing now there's no commitment, and I want him gone. Sorry for the ranting, but I'll tell you what, it's pissed me right off. West Ham have given him another opportunity here. It's not as if he's on a pittance either. He's earning good wages at West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Really annoys me. I just think it's disgusting, really. If you did that conduct in a normal job, refusing to work and all that, Jesus Christ, you'd be out the door. It's not on. So, no, I'm really disappointed in Aguerd. So, that's where we are with him. So, I'm just going to read what we've got from Update on X in terms of the words on his Patreon. So, he's turned around and said, should Aguerd leave? And at the moment, it seems the club would rather he stayed. Why would you want a person at the football club that doesn't want to be here and is refusing to play for you? Oh, I'd love him at my club. Just get rid of the guy. The guy is clearly a problem, right? We could move for a third Southampton player. This player is Taylor Harwood-Bellis. He's on a list of potential targets, and also one is Charlie Creswell. Creswell would be the one I'd prefer, to be honest, but I understand why as well. Taylor Harwood-Bellis would be an option. But yeah, look, last words on Aguerd. I want him gone. I don't like the fact West Ham are still leaning towards why we'd rather him stay. I don't know why. I'm struggling to see, this whole, wouldn't Aguerd be so good playing under Potter? Oh, he's such a great player. Is he really that good? Am I the one that doesn't see this? I've seen parts of his game before and thought, I remember when he first joined, he was making some really good tackles. I haven't seen that for ages from Aguerd. I don't watch Aguerd play and think, wow, what defending. I just see a lack of commitment all the time. Rarely ever heads a ball. Yeah, unimpressed big time. You can see I'm a bit pissed off about it. I'll try and calm down. So Charlie Creswell is a target that's been reported again today, this morning. I think from the Sun are reporting that we're keen. I think it's a £13 million sort of price tag on him, which I think is attractive, to be honest. Obviously playing for Toulouse at the moment. I think he'd be keen on the move. I think he would suit us. I think he's what we need. I think what we lack when you look at our defence is a leader, someone that grips hold of the situation, goes, we're going to win that ball, we're going to battle and fight hard. I don't ever see that from Aguerd. I don't really see it from the other two. I'd prefer Mavropanos at the other one, as I tell you, but I certainly don't see it from Kilman either. I think he's another Matthew Upson in disguise, to be honest. Total, yeah, £40 million. Jesus Christ. I'm going off on tangents here. I'm having a rant this morning, but I'm going to try and keep. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring it back. All right. I know it started. We're going off road a little bit, but I'm just going to sort of steer it back on the road now. And then we're going to. This is going to be a far more professional second half of this video. I promise. Yeah, good twat. That's the last part. Right. Yes, that's where we are with Aguerd. I want to see him gone, as you can probably tell. I don't know if I've told you that. And Charlie Creswell would be my choice. But Taylor Harwood-Bellis, I get. Not only is he a highly rated defender in terms of England under 21s and etc. and got Premier League experience, which I can understand. Obviously, dealing with Southampton again, that would be the second time, so it'd feel like we could get a deal over the line. Well, actually, no, we didn't deal with Southampton twice, did we? Carl Peters was a free agent, but you get my point. We certainly worked with Fernandez, so. We've got a decent relationship with Southampton, so it feels like that's a deal that could possibly happen. Of course, then you've also got the relationship between Harwood-Bellis and Hermansen from last season. Was that a good thing? Don't know. And yeah, I'm knowing the players. I just feel like it would make sense. But for me, Charlie Creswell is the one I would like. I think he just epitomises the attitude and the energy we need in the back line. And if it means seeing Aguerd go, then I hope that happens. But I think it will happen. I think Aguerd will go. This is my gut feeling. I think once a player kicks up a stink like this and throws their toys and wants to leave and refuses to play, there's no coming back from that. You can't do that and then come back. And I know someone, as I said that, I just remember, do you remember Wayne Rooney did that? Man United, he put a transfer request in and wanted to leave, refused to play, and all of a sudden he signed a new deal. So I really hope that doesn't happen with Aguerd. I'll be furious, crossed, if we got a new deal for him. No way. So that's where we are. Right. I've talked now for 11 minutes and I've not even talked about Paqueta yet. Sorry about that. Right, let's talk about Lucas Paqueta. That's the one I know what everyone's talking about. This is no clearer in my eyes, actually. I'm finding this incredibly stressful, like many. I don't like the fact this is all happening and at this period, right before a game, right at the tail end of the transfer window. I just wish we'd have dealt with this sooner and established where we were with it. So basically, Aston Villa have come in for Paqueta. As far as we understand it, Paqueta wants to go. He wants to leave the football club. He wants to go to Aston Villa. I don't really blame him. I honestly, I don't really blame Paqueta. I think he's been here, 3 years now. 2 of those years he's been under investigation. He hasn't really been the best performer for us. If we're going to put cards on the table, and I think this is a fair assessment, as much as I think Paqueta is a fabulous talent and a stunning player. When he is at it, when he's on it, he is sublime. One of our best players by far. However, I don't think we see it enough from Paqueta. I think we've certainly seen it the last couple of seasons. Now, you could argue, well, yeah, but he's had a lot going on, and I do have a lot of sympathy for that. But I get why he would fancy a move. And I actually think, in my general gut feeling of this, I don't like the fact it's this late in the window. I think it's good for all parties. Again, reiterating my point again, if you don't want to be at the club, then I don't want you being here. Paqueta doesn't want to be here. Okay, he wants to leave. So I think it's clever, wise of West Ham now to get this through, get a deal done. But I would say to Paqueta, it's going to the balance will be on us getting a replacement. Who that will be, I'm not sure. Obviously, Harvey Elliott has been a player of serious interest now for some time, and he's still at Liverpool. We know we spent best part of 2 or 3 weeks talking to Liverpool about getting a deal done for him. It would not surprise if West Ham go back in and try and get that done. That's my gut feeling on it. Right, let me read what X has done. This is kind of in 2 parts. So one was earlier, one's a bit later, but it kind of all ties up. But let me just I'll read it and then you can sort of make do what you think. At the moment, we've only spoken to 2 West Ham sources. This is at that time, right? And they deny that they've accepted any bid for Lucas Paqueta, and they're getting annoyed with the reporting of such a thing for Fabrizio Romano. So Fabrizio Romano's put out tweets and basically said, it's almost here we go time for Paqueta. And I'm thinking, well, I knew that weren't the case. And I'm thinking, so I messaged X and said, what's he talking about? I thought this weren't happening. So he said, no, it's not happening. So at this stage, the club are denying that they wish to sell the player and have always maintained that if it did, it would be for no less than 60 million. I guess the overall package could be around £60 million. It's not going to be £60 million bang cash. It might well be add-ons and bits and pieces, whatever. And also the replacement would need to be lined up by the club, which this is X. I don't believe that we have one lined up, which is disappointing, isn't it? And again, this is where I blame the football club, that we've allowed this to carry on. If we knew that Paqueta wanted to go and things, then we should have got this in place. I don't want players at the club don't want to be here. Whether Paqueta wants the deal is not unclear. Well, okay, so we do know that's changed now. He does want to move to Villa. As it stands, I don't think the bid's been accepted, and he still is going to be available for the game tomorrow. And then we have a later update. We've finally heard now from the top source at the club. I think we know who that is. regarding Lucas Paqueta, and it's a bit of mixed news. I'm going to put out very little comment because I don't really know how to take it. This is the words, right, from our top source. He will not be sold this window, even though he wants to leave. It's like Paqueta all over again. Really want to keep the guy. He hates being here, but we want to keep him. That's really good for the dressing room. So you're going to have 2 players now that don't want to be here. Fabulous. I love the sound of this dressing room. It's going to be no end of happiness in East London. Fabulous. Whether he will keep to his word, we obviously remains to be seen. I can only report what I'm told. I do believe that if a substantial offer comes in, it could still be accepted. I think Paqueta will go. That's my gut feeling. If I'm West Ham now, I'll be going right, and I'm David Sullivan and Carl McCauley. I'd say go and get a deal for Harvey Elliott done. That's what I would be doing if I'm West Ham now. I'd be saying go to Liverpool, go right. What do we need to do? And they'll say 35 million. We want whatever it is to get Harvey Elliott. Well, I don't know exactly what the price they get. Let's say 35. We'll get it done. Go and negotiate it quickly. So don't forget as well. Liverpool need the money in. They're spending like bloody a drunken sailor at the moment, aren't they? Don't get me wrong. Well, it's not like they're going crazy, but they are spending serious money. So I do think that they will want to sell Harvey Elliott. Okay, that's my gut feeling on that. So that's what I'm doing. If I'm West Ham, I'm going to go get that deal done, get Paqueta out. Let's move forward from this. We need to crack on. I mean, it's not ideal right before not middle of a season, but we've already started the season, and the fact we're just about to play a game. So that's where we are at the moment. All right. I mean, please don't have a go at me and shoot the message. That's where we are. There's my thoughts on it. I'm going to go on to the next one. Emerson, as we covered the latest update, Emerson's now set to have a move to Marseille. It's believed to be £1 million. He should complete his move soon. This is interesting. Emerson is known to be Paqueta's best friend, so whether this has affected Paqueta's happiness at the club, it actually remains a strong possibility. It does seem a little bit like that, doesn't it? That suddenly now he really wants to move and he wants to go because he's been saying he wants to stay, and now Emerson's on. Look, not saying that's a definite factor, but it could well be playing a part. An agent close to Thomas Souček has said he's 90% sure that he was going to remain a West Ham player after the deadline. It would take a substantial offer now from Everton to get a deal over the line. At the moment, Rodriguez looks set to stay at the club. Bloody hell. Andy Irvine is set to complete a £4 million move to Wrexham. I think that's a good deal. That's really good for West Ham. I can't believe we're getting £4 million for him. But anyway, that's good. That's where we are. Sorry it's been going on a little bit, but that's where we are at the moment. It's match day today. I think we've got to try and do our best really to try and switch off from this and focus on what is a big game for Graham Potter. No two ways about it. I don't know whether Paqueta is going to be playing. My guess would be no. Certainly not Aguerd. He's not travelled, which I think is disgusting, as I've reported up. I'm not going to go into that again. The circus continues. The circus bloody continues. This is going to be a hectic Monday. I'm telling you that. Deadline day is going to be a long one. I need a good night's sleep tonight. Right, have a good one. Let's hope we get a result today. Come on, your irons.